Today I'm going to show you how to add tags to your mp3 files so that they can be stored correctly on your iPhone or other mp3 playing device. Often these tags are either written incorrectly or don't even exist, and you need to create them yourself. To do this, we are going to use the free software mp3tag on our first and second examples, and the additional free software called antrenamer will be used to help us to create new titles in our third example. Our first example shows audio ripped from a CD-ROM using Windows Media Player. As you can see, the file name, number and title have been provided, and all we need to do is add the artist name and the album. In our second example, we have simply copied the folder containing the mp3 files onto our computer, and as you can see, we have only been provided with the file name, so we will need to create all of the tags which are missing. In our third example, where we downloaded the audio files from the internet, the artist and album have been provided, but the file name and the title are far too long, and we want to replace them with the simple tagging of track 1, track 2, track 3, etc. Also, we need to add the numbering order, which controls the order they will be played in. Now, the first thing we need to do is obviously download the mp3tag software. So go to this address here at the top, click on download, and simply click on this file here, the setup. Wait a few seconds, and then this will appear. So we've saved that. Let's go to our downloads and install that. Here you can see, obviously I downloaded it before, but that was the 298 version. Now we have the new version, 299. Click agree. You have a portable installation, so you can use this on other computers without installing it. But I'm going to use the standard installation. I already have mp3tag open, so I should close it first. This is my older version. Now you can donate if you wish to. I'm not going to do that at this time. Just click next and finish. So we've installed mp3tag, so let's just open the software, and in order to explain how these relate to the file system we have, we will need to open our mp3 files. So go to your music, and the last album we did was in the unknown artist area, and this was an album that, or CD-ROM, which we copied in a previous video. If I open it up, you can see there is the list of tracks. Make sure that you go to View and change the setting, because at the moment you can't see any of the tags and we need to see the tags. So go to View and choose Detail. So obviously this was on List. We need to choose Detail, and now you can see we were given the title and the number and the file name, but not the artist or album. So I'm going to compare this with the mp3 tag sources. Before I do that, you'll notice that the album artist isn't here, only the contributing artist. So what you need to do is right click anywhere on the top bar and add the album artist. You can also add genre if you wish and year, but album artist is the only one we really need. And as you can see, that wasn't provided, so we need to also add that. It's worthwhile adding both contributing artist and album artist as the same name, because some devices might order it under album artist and not contributing artist, and therefore it will be lost. So to explain the mp3 tag software, the file name is given here. Next we have the numbering order, and that is called the track order. So we need to make sure we include this. Next we have the title, and you might notice that the file name is often a combination of the title and the numbering order together, but we'll go into that later. Next we have the contributing artist. Ours is unknown artist, and this is where we change it. Then there is the album. It's called unknown album with the date. We're going to change that. And also the album artist, which we are going to copy from artist. Make sure we do those two. Finally, we can add a cover art so that when you play the file, it actually pops up with a little picture on your device. What I mean by that is, if we play this track now,
Unit 3, page 17.
You'll see that there is no picture, but in the one we're about to create, which is this one, if I double click,
Unit 3, page 17.
You can see there's a little picture which might help sometimes to identify what you're actually playing. So let's go back to our album we need to edit. Now the first one we're going to do is the album which we copied from a CD-ROM, and we were left with the unknown artist. So let's open that file, but before we do, let's open our mp3 tag area. Let's go to our unknown album. This is the one, and simply drag it into the open space. And there you will see all the titles listed. Now what I'm going to do is to leave this folder on the top so that you can see it being edited as we do it live. So the first thing we need to do is to highlight all of the tracks, because these are the ones we're going to change and edit. Now, the contributing artist is going to be first masterclass. And remember, we're going to copy that and also make it the album artist. Whenever you make a change, you simply click on Save and watch everything change. So 12 tags have been changed, and as you can see, the artist and the album artist are the same. Here, contributing artist, album artist, our first masterclass. And now we're going to also change the album. And we'll just name that workbook. Click on save. And that tag has also been added. And the final thing we're going to add is an album cover. Remember, make sure everything is highlighted. Right click and add cover. Now it's taken me to the music folder, but my cover is actually in my Camtasia folder. So I'm going to quickly go there. Now this is one that I downloaded from the internet. So if you want a quick album cover, what you can do is go to the internet, type in First Masterclass Multi-ROM, you'll get this image. Click on the image you want. Simply right click and save image as. And then here you can see I saved the image here. So this is the image I wanted to copy. Let's do that again. I'm going to right click, add cover, go to my folder where the cover is and simply add. You can see the size is quite small. Make sure the size is small, otherwise it might not adhere to it. We click save again. So this time when we double click on the track,
Unit 7, page 40.
you can see it's compressed the picture a bit, but that's okay. It looks quite nice. And that is our first example completed. Let's go back to the unknown album, and there you can see all the tags are in place.
Unit 4, page 22. Listening. Exercise.
As is the picture. So as you can see, example 1 has been completed. Let's move on to the second album, where we have to add all of the details, even the numbering order. We actually don't like this numbering order, so let's move on to part 2. Now the album we want to open is this audio here. This is the one we want to change, and we want to make it like this. So let's go back to our audio. Now we can simply drop it in, or we can go to the top here and it says, if we hover over it, it says change directory. So let's change the directory. We'll go back and choose the audio here. Select folder, and there you have the audio selected. As you notice, all of the detail is missing, even the track numbering, plus the tags are not even. Even the year has been added to some of them. Now we want to make sure we clean up this area. This is quite an arduous task, so let's start at the beginning, and what we want to do is give them a track order number. Make sure you go to the top and click File Name, and click it again if that isn't the order you wanted them in. You can notice here that these tracks seem to be different from the rest. Unit 4, Unit 6, Unit 8, these are additional tracks added on to the last chapters of the book. So I want these to go to the end. Again, everything evolves around the track number. So what I'm going to do is, these tracks are good. Unit 1, Unit 2, so on, so on. So I'm going to highlight all of these tracks from Unit 1 to Unit 14, ignoring these earlier tracks. Now to number them, you have to go to the Tools Auto Numbering Wizard. We'll begin at 1 and click OK. And there you can see we have 82 files in numerical order. Because it ended at 82, I want these to start at 83. So I'm going to highlight these. Again, click on Tools, Auto Numbering, but I'm going to change this number to 83. Click OK. And there you can see I can now click on the track order and it will order those at the bottom and these at the top. So our first task is done. We've done the track number. What's the next thing we need to do? The next thing we need to do is give it a artist and album. So it's Cutting Edge KSA is the artist. Let's do that first. And remember, now we have to click Save. Now, you might ask yourself, why did that not work? Well, it only worked because it worked on those that I highlighted. What I need to do is to highlight the whole of the MP3s. To do this, I simply click on the first one, go down to the bottom and hold Shift. Left click and everything is highlighted. So now I just need to, well, I can actually choose what I wrote before. Click Save. And all 92 have changed. Now I leave them all highlighted. And click the album, elementary. And we have the album. The only thing missing is the title. And I would also like these file names to have a number before them, like number 1. But first of all, let's copy the file name to the title. In order to do this, everything is still highlighted, and I just right click in the center, go to Convert Tag to Tag. I guess you can also get this from the top here, Convert Tag to Tag. And if you don't see this, make sure that you click on the field title. You have them here, so just make sure you click on title. And if you don't see this string, you need to find the file name. To do this, go to this arrow and go to information fields, and then go up to file name. And there you can see the result here. That's what will appear in the title, which is exactly what is in the file name. So let's click OK. And you can see our title is exactly like the file name. However, I do want this track number to appear with the file name as well. To do this, everything is still highlighted. Click Convert, Tag to File Name. And here you can see the string is number and title. If you want, you can add other things, but this for me is the best one. If you can't find this information, if it's not there, it should be there when you click. I've copied this exact text and put it in a field below, so you can simply copy and paste. So this is what I want to see, 01 and then the file name. Let's click OK. And there you can see file name is number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have our titles, we have everything. Just the cover is missing now. So with everything highlighted, right click, add cover, and we'll use this CD here. I click save, remember to click save. And now, if I go back to my audio, this is the one we changed. You can see everything's changed, and we simply double click on one.
Unit 1, recording 2, 1.
And you can see,
How are you?
and there you can see the picture of the album. So that's number 2 done. Finally, with number 3, like I said before, we're going to have to use a software called antrenamer. And that's because in our file, if we look at the file we're going to do now, this one, we want to change the titles because they're too long, but we don't want to sit there and type in the text individually for each one. You know, I don't want to click on this one, type in track 1, click on this, type in track 2. I don't want to do that. So let's first of all change the directory. Go to our folder, and we want to change these long titles so that we can make everything say track 1, track 2. This is a little trickier, but once you know how to do this, it's a very fast and easy method. So first we're going to need antrenamer. Go to this website. You can click on French or English. Click on the download. And then you need to download the version you want. I would do the download direct link. Obviously you can have also a portable version, but let's do the direct link. Save, and you simply need to install it as well. Let's go to our download folder, install, accept, and then we've finished. So let's open up our antrenamer. But first, I actually want to get out of this. I want to actually, I'm just going to open into a blank folder because I want to put these files into the antrenamer. So here's my antrenamer. Now we're simply going to add the files into the antrenamer by dragging and dropping. So here is my folder, and I simply drag and drop. Just leave everything as it is, click OK. And what we're going to do is we click on Actions. Obviously we want to highlight everything. Control A highlights everything. We click on Actions and we're going to take names from a list. Now this is the list we want to create. It needs to say track1.mp3. If it doesn't, the file will not play because your file is a .mp3. Now I'm going to clear this. In order to create this list, we're going to go to a Google Excel sheet. So what you do is you simply go to your Google Drive, or if you have Excel, it works the same. And we start a new spreadsheet. Here's my new spreadsheet. And what we're going to do is copy this method of making a text file list. It looks a lot, but it's not. It's very easy. So we simply need to join track1 with .mp3. So let's do that. We write track1, we write .mp3, then we use this formula to copy the two together, which results in this, and then we simply copy and paste so that it actually says track1 and not this code. So let's do that. And the reason I do this is I don't want to write it 33 times. So I'm just going to drag it. And you have the tracks already made for you. Then we have .mp3, but this one we can't drag because you'll end up with this. So what you need to do is copy one box, Control C, go to another box, Control V, paste. Now you can highlight the two boxes, drag them. So you just click on one and drag it down. Go to this corner, drag it all the way down. And there you have .mp3. Now in order to join these two texts together, you'll need a file. What you need to do is have this text file. and I'll put a link below. So it's equal A1 and then you do quotation mark, no gap, quotation mark, and B1. And as you can see, it puts the two files together. Simply drag it down. As you can see, that one becomes A9, B9. Keep dragging it down, and then you have all the files. Now, in order to copy this to a text box, you need to highlight the first one with your arrow and drag it down to the bottom. Then you need to right click and copy, and in the next box you need to right click and not paste, but paste special values only. So now in this box here you can see this one has the code, but this one has the text we want. So let's copy all that text, we just copy, open up a text box. This is Notepad. If you have difficulty finding it, just type in Notepad. And edit, paste. Now that's our list, what we want to add to the antrenamer. So let's file and save as, well, let's put it on the desktop. And let's just save it as list. We can close that off. Let's go to our antrenamer, take names from the list, because remember we have 33 files that need changing. Take names from the list, open. We're on the desktop. There's our list. And in order for it to actually work, you need to press go. Press go. And now, if we look back at our files, the folder is the same, but the file name has changed. So let's click off that. And there you can see the title has stayed the same, but the actual tracks are numbered, track 1, track 2. So now all we have to do is add a numbering and add the title. So let's go to our mp3 tag and open up the Cambridge folder. You can see our file names have changed, but our title is still pretty horrible. That's not a good title. We need it to be the same as the file name. Once again, click on one, Control A, highlight everything, convert tag to tag. We've done this before, so remember it should be title and file name, and it will look like this. And there you can see the title has changed. Now I just want to add the numbers to it, but as you can see, we don't have any track numbers. So let's go to Tools, Auto Numbering Wizard, start at number 1. And there's our tracks. Make sure we press save. And the final action is to convert tag to file name. So we have 01, track 01. And click OK. and then it's done. Now we need to add an album cover. Right click, add cover. That's our cover. Click save. And it's done. Remember, you have to keep all of them highlighted for this to work. So if I double click on this one now,
Recording 6.
you can see it's come up with the picture. And that is that. So if we go back to our Cambridge, you can see there's one thing we forgot to do, and that's the album artist. Should be the same as the contributing artist. So let's change that. Control A. We'll copy the artist. Click save. And there it is. The name is there. Everything's done. Let's go back to our folder. Yes, the artist name is there. Everything's working. Double click to check.
Recording 2.
Yes. And that, my friend, is how you tag your albums. So, 3 different methods, and this should solve all your tagging problems when you put them on your iPhone. I hope you've enjoyed this expose of mp3 tag. In my next video, I'm going to show you how to tag your album files so that they don't get lost. That video will probably only take 5 minutes because we will be using a software called Music Brains. And this small software is an amazing software. I'm going to show you how to use that to do music files. So, hope to see you on the next video.